Welcome to our lovely future humans and 5D collective, those who are stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable. You get to be you when your playground is your mind, and that's thanks to having a sweat lodge, your own body, that is going to be in the flow state thanks to the bright sides of neuroplasticity, but thanks to your ventral vagal state. And lo and behold, unfortunately, those small-minded human beings, the adults who like to talk to us about evil, humanity, and integrity, yes, yet they know nothing of that which is their own human makeup. So whenever I hear the word evil, I just think nothing except for ignorant. When I think of integrity, I think if you're having to use the word, obviously you're not yet functional child adults, because usually the ones of us who are already being that which is called a person who walks a walk and talk a talk, it's called self-led. When you talk about humanity, we're great. We make mistakes, like any wise adult will know. And so we harbor no resentment in a way of a child. Capricious individuals are those who are lacking the capacity to notice that their got lost somewhere. Yeah, so when you get a gaslit child, they will actually not have a good compass. They think kindness is fake, neutrality is fake. Their body consistently perceives helplessness, and that's why they're the weak ones. Not the ones who are doing the work. No, those are the brave ones. They get forced to be strong, courageous. Eventually they move into curiosity, which is where the IHP community is at. I do personal and spiritual growth for people who are actually growing, not the trending topics. Trending topics make me laugh, but then again, I should let you know to be committed to each other beyond success and failure, health and ill health, life and death. That is what makes you family. My human herd is my entire family. Now, my brothers and sisters who don't want health, I accept mediocre B gamers just as much as A gamers as a healthy perfectionist. I do not make it my mission to actually tell them about this stuff, because if you look at the world today, lies are mainstream. Yes, truth is a fringe phenomenon. It is time to reverse that. Thank you, Sadhguru. The other quote, to be committed to each other, is also Sadhguru. I'm reading some of his quotes. And the gaslit, yes, that's actually... this one was Patrick Tiahan's. Gaslit child will become an adult who does not trust their own compass. I'm letting you know they actually don't trust kind people, neutrality. They don't think it exists. I'm always wearing a sword behind my back. That's the people who are actually not trusting. If they heal, then eventually they learn who healthy self-worth grown-ups are. And that's why they don't hang around the small-minded ones that don't know that every human being has one of two options: to be strong, courageous, and eventually sit in curiosity and laugh our way to death, because our 0-1-year-old is safe, our 3 to 7, and that means our sweat lodge, our body. I'm going to bring to you some of my streamed consciousness and food for thought and intuitiveness, and we're all children of God. The difference is some are not needing to save ourselves or humanity, because God and no monster being anywhere, unlike the ones who still have monsters. Unfortunately, love, it can solve problems. Compassion can solve problems, and above all, sense can solve problems, but they don't want it. They're disregarding that their human makeup has them turning their face like this. Modern day therapists, they're trying to imprison us. Modern day therapy, they're accusational completely towards every single bit of healing, that which is called their own child parts and their shadow stuff, to the point of where they think equanimity is fake. No, that's spiritual bypassers do equanimity. It's like, no, equanimity means you're calm and centered to the fact that you know how to use your integrated brain, and therefore you enjoy knowledge. Knowledge means I'm pseudoscience woo lady because I know who, intellectually speaking, is going to give me a fact, and it's not a man with effective realism who says, I want it to be well, but it is right, it feels right, and who uses books and shows you what rhetoric is, and you're like, wow, cynic, playing to crowd. Interesting. That's how it works when you do know what rhetoric means in and of itself, and then when you're a marketer who understands what crappy sales pitches are and what crappy trending topics are, because adolescents are all basically crappy trending topics. Yes, meaning they don't have integrity. Like my facade friend, they don't walk a walk and talk a talk. They just join a crowd, pat each other on the back. The minute that they're not patting each other on the back anymore, so it's no longer trending, that's why we have two groups. of trenders, the ones who are not allowing themselves to understand what we're letting go of, which is bad-mannered human beings. They make me laugh. Yes, yes. No, I don't cry. No, because I'm not a big monster. I can't do much to help my lovely brothers and sisters. The ones who I would love to be helping. Those ones I would help in a very snap and done, but that's not happening. And as God likes to remind me, Maria, yes, God, don't judge your brothers and sisters. I'm not of human suffering, a waste of your fucking time. I'm not. Look, I'm telling them how much I can learn from everyone. Your A game, yes, it's called you know how to self-regulate. Laugh in your butthole. Laugh as a grown-up. Know what knowledge is. And when someone wants to say, you don't believe in evil? No, I don't, because there's a Michael Stone forensic criminologist scale. It's not about belief. I have knowledge. Yes, I'm a mystic. Did I mention that? And I know all about the consciousness sphere from the sciences plane. It doesn't disprove God. It doesn't disprove any of our stories. They just give an explanation to the people who make fun of us. But it's okay. When a mystic comes out of the closet and she's a 5D mystic, she don't think, oh my God, my family, they might not welcome me. Excuse me. Did you think that you're going to get a thumbs up or thumbs down from human beings when you're experiencing something that they don't experience? Yeah, do you know anything about what happens when people are actually... Let's see. So everything that IHP and Maria do are ideal only for those of you who enjoy emotional resilience work. You laugh in your buttholes, you laugh outside, and anytime you hear someone say that humanity's brains are basically limited, you think, no way, we're not. Oh, we're not. It doesn't matter if you're monoamory or polyamory community. It's like, nope, brains don't fall out of the assholes. Not of the smart ones, only of the ones who basically limit their own potential, but that's okay. As they limit humanity's potential by not having the capacity to understand what integrity is, but loving to use the word. So integrity means that no matter what you say about me, I won't be ashamed, but that's because I have a clear conscience. My body's a safe haven, secure base for Maria. So I know what it means to do something, feel ashamed, feel guilty, say I'm sorry, and actually make amends. I also know how to consistently decide that I will not be following any buffoons. By the time I was 14, I decided that because the grown-ups were right. They knew some things. Teenagers are assholes. And as a grown woman, I'm not afraid of evil because, one, I know God. Two, evil are dumb morons, and I will let you know some think it's not true. I've had debates with them in academic settings. And I don't do academic settings for a reason, because I don't want to waste my time there. I like to help people who want to be happy in life and to live a good life. So join us here. We leave a legacy of love, integrity, and intelligence, intellect, and funny bones. And we're all children who don't need God's approval, but we do know what he likes to remind us of. All on the floor, because you're all the same. And anybody who doesn't like that, wow, did I just spot one of the brothers and sisters who want to be on a high horse and think that they're better than anybody else? Are you trying to create two groups? Oh, look at that 14-month-old. You did a great job wheeling your mouth like that. Did you just say lack of imagination for evil? That's how totally, if I could, I would talk to some of these people. Because that's all I'm talking to is a poor human being, and really that would be a mean Maria. You see, I'd be a mean teenage version, grown-up version who's talking to somebody who I actively know, because I'm attachment trauma educated, that they are not healed. They have a shadow, a bunch of them. They speak shit out of their mouth all the time, and they may do wonders for some people, but every time I'm hearing them speak of a woman figure, I'm like, oh shit. Okay, wow, that was really impressively intimate. And there's a man who played Russian roulette on a screen. If only I were in front, I wouldn't tell him anything, because I'd be like, wow, you revealed to me the most horrible shit that you're thinking in your brain since the minute you were a teenager, and that's just sad. You needed therapy, you didn't go, and now you think you playing Russian roulette on a screen means you're a badass, you're a moron, because anybody who's an actual badass don't show their colors anywhere. And they know what strategy means. That's, excuse me, I'm a political science major. I just forgot to mention that because I did do it on purpose. And my master's degree in international relations and diplomacy. So I'm not a buffoon when it comes to negotiation, rhetoric, or any of that. And that's why I laugh anytime I'm seeing anybody do what they do here, is I think of action movies. And then I think of The Gladiator. Anybody watch it? The first one, not the second one. I haven't seen it yet. Anybody remember the scene? Yeah, so I'm going to let you in on a fun fact. A smart human being thinks a certain way. A stupid human being thinks in a very stupid way. And, well, masculines, they don't stand a chance. Sorry. They don't, but they play a good role. Yes, they give the empowered feminines very good opportunity to notice what they're not made of. Sorry. Small-minded adults are not made of much. Mediocre behavior. Dan Martell, not dangerous. Just buffoons. Successful ones will always want their A game because it would feel like they're missing out on life. Yeah, we're all selfish, you know what I mean? So if you know you're only bringing half of you to the forefront, you're not going to do that because you ain't actually taking a leap of faith. Now, the ones who actually are not capable of believing in themselves, that's why it's good that they get it off their chest. This guy got it off his chest because he was upset because he got rejected from someone else. He's a stranger to me. In the meantime, the next time I saw him, he thought he taught me a lesson. People who are small-minded talk about good and bad in ways that are ridiculously childish. People who are grown human beings are looking forward to seeing as we continue into the future because our societal culture always goes through transformation. Humanities and social sciences. I bring human elements to the spiritual and spirituality elements, and as a child of God, God always tells me all my brothers and sisters are the same, and I told him there's no Lucifer monsters, just a bunch of cowards. I know what to do with them. Jesus taught me, forgive, turn the other cheek. I did. Thanks Stephen Porges for confirming biologically rude people. They do not know that they're being rude. They have no room for me. It's okay. I learned from the best of the best of the best of the best. Thanks Men in Black how to ignore every single one of them. You don't actually think of crying Zen Master as laundry. And I don't force courage and strength out of my tears. I actually just get funnier by the minute inside of me and outside of me. Well, because in the marketplace, it is considered smart to give less and take more. In a genuine relationship, you give whatever you can without caring what you get back. Thank you, Sadhguru. So your oversoul, which could mean Mui, the biosphere. Mui, Dr. Daniel Siegel, biosphere, Terreal, doesn't pay you back if they don't know self-regulation. You can't teach someone who dysregulates how to self-regulate. They need to want that. And therefore, when you have a mind that is safe and a body that is safe, that's why you're being yourself. And when that takes place, that's why you have integrity. And that's why you can present yourself again and again and again as you get older, right here, 45.0 version, as all of me. When somebody doesn't like my 0-1-year-old, it's okay, you're protected, Maria. When somebody doesn't like my 3 to 7-year-old, it's okay, Maria, you're protected. I'm not armored in, I'm protecting my child. And anytime that happens, they don't get access to it anymore. And it's not negotiable. And it's not a debate. It's I recalibrate, and then I know I have an asshole in the room, like all those other adolescents. And that's it. They're not an asshole, like I said. No monster, no Lucifer. Cowards. COWARDS. That never changes for Maria. Because I'm not a teenager who's a buffoon. I actually did hear what the grown-ups said. Dare, sex ed, they were all right. All the assholes stayed assholes. They grew up, wow, not doing fabulous. Might I say that I actually didn't think that the grown-ups would be right about all things, but fraternities, sororities, and getting yelled at in the face and other bullshit doesn't make you into man or woman. Just makes me know that you still have low self-esteem and don't know how to be actually somebody who believes in themselves, which is a very sad story because if you're not willing to be vulnerable, you're not willing to transform. Whatever does not transform is as good as dead. Thank you, Sadhguru. So in 3D 4D Collective, I was told they would stick around as a 5D mystic. I knew that, no, I thought that's not going to happen. I had confirmation. It was a couple years ago or last year, I forget. But long story short, they're sticking to their choices. It's okay. Just remember, do not think your money, relationships, or family are insurance. The only true insurance is knowing how to keep yourself well on every level. That is yoga. Thank you, Sadhguru. So you don't need yoga, but yoga is a ventral vagal portfolio toning exercises. If you do think everyone is out to get you, you will become small. Trust is important. Thank you, Sadhguru. As he also points out, integrity is not a set of values or ethics. It is the coherence between how you are, how you think, and how you act. If you're being yourself, like a wise adult, that's why you do know evil, Knievel, medieval. This word doesn't mean much to us, except for we do know we have groups of people who could use therapy, like, I don't know, for however long it takes. As for social sciences and humanities, that's where the big picture is basically if we had all people who would be wise adults, then we would have better mannered human beings. We'd also have them disengaging from cherry picking who their favorite scientists are or not, and they would be disengaging from arguing about basically things that are not even data. But lo and behold, ignorance. So small-minded adults are mediocre because they talk about a bunch of shit that they don't know anything about because they don't know their human makeup. And so if you got an intelligent one in the room, they ain't going to waste their breath on somebody who's a moron. I'm letting you know, Maria right here, this is one of the reasons. I met all of the teenagers when I was a kid. Ego's easy to spot because you immediately are defensive versus having a nice conversation. And I'm not in academia, so I'm not going to try to prove something. When you have an adolescent, confusing science, spirituality. I have fun with that because I'm not offended that someone will want to interrupt me. And so when you are owning the left and owning the right, you're having inner growth, you're doing the emotional self-regulation. Life is a charm. In fact, we're very blessed. And that's why, again, there's no evil, Knievel, medieval in the way of stories. Furthermore, as God is someone that I continue to honor and respect, although I'm not honored and respected by those who think God doesn't need science, by those who think mystics are shit, and whatever other words they want to say, that yoga brings demons out of you, and all those other rumors went about their business creating Reiki and a little theologian book of what? You got a couple of sources going on, and you decided to make an entire group of people, the bad people, bad energy. And unfortunately, ignorant human beings will go and read that and they will take it seriously, which is why words are not powerful. What's powerful is you owning your 14-month-old, owning your embodied brain, learning what books are, and then learning what qualitative analysis versus quantitative data is. Then learning that a belief is not about any of data or knowledge, it's about your subjective opinions. So societal culture is made of those different human beings from our history to now, which is why it's very beautiful as you read books that inform you that everything that we have orchestrated continues to maintain an organized stance, because it can't actually be completely disrupted. In the meantime, as we are moving into our new balance, which is why spiritual enlightened ones know we're not needed. Science has everything figured out. God does not need to be proven. The ones who are actually trying to make it into competition, they don't own, what am I going to say? They don't own left and right together. Because left is the one who says only one can win. Basically, only A is right or only B is right. It's the right that says, excuse me, no, we have A and B and C and D. We have E and F and G and H and I and J and K and L and M and O P and look at that. And that's our 3-year-old who's okay with being considered dumb when we're not. So when you hear a man saying that your brain can fall out of your asshole if you believe in more than, no, if you learn a lot of shit, they don't know how to learn. That's why I laugh at small-minded, brained human beings, and it's why mediocre people are not dangerous to brilliant minds. Friday afternoon, asking for homework, getting booed, made me think nothing because I don't want to be an idiot. Those who continue to not want to learn things, I have no idea what they use. No, I know what they do with their time. I'm not interested. It's completely uninteresting to me, those who don't want to enlighten with different subject matters. It's not because they have to, but it's because there's a lot of different things. 24 hours, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit. So anyways, at the end of the day, what is really upsetting is they don't even know how they're made. Then they want to talk to me or to you or whoever you are who still hear about evil, Knievel, medieval. Our brothers and sisters are all the same. They either got the good end of the stick or the short end of the stick. And I tip my hat to the ones who go to therapy from the short end of the stick, because they're going to get themselves back. So Kylie, a narcissist who's healing, I tip my hat to her. I'll stand behind her back, meaning stand for her, while a human being woman who grabs the data and does this, look, it's proven. They don't change. My colleagues are all against me. I don't stand next to that when I say, wow, your colleagues are all against you. Did you get out of the game of studying and now you're carrying on with that? And you're not supporting a healing narcissist. I see. Wow, that's really, what's your title again? I see you don't care about what your title is. You just care to make a platform for where you can, with all the people like the flat earthers, pat each other in the back. We're the good team. They're the bad team. But you're wielding your mouth to say all your colleagues are against you, that you know how to read data. And guess who's going to follow that person? The ones who have the same trauma charge, who don't know forgiveness because they don't know how to follow through with turn the other cheek. Blessed are those who believe without seeing, and self-regulation, and to learn knowledge about the human makeup. Every human being will have been in the fetus and a 0-1-year-old. So whenever someone lacks compassion, I know who they are. And they will want to use words like integrity, and I know that they will have none. If they had integrity, they would remember they never walked in the shoes of anyone else, and then they would know what a human is made of. And they wouldn't use evil, Knievel, medieval, and stories of Lucifers or integrity to actually have a good team and a bad team. Because that's where a wise adult is knowledgeable and doesn't cherry pick information based on likes and dislikes. They understand that they can like and dislike something because of things that will have taken place in their life. And that's how you show children how to learn from that which comes their way, that doesn't create sufferings and master. but that instead it's called we have emotions, children, and we learn how to use our ventral vagal state, children, and equanimity is actually a superpower, children, and so is discernment, yay, and so is love. So when you see spiritual bypassers, they don't know how to say all our brothers and sisters are welcome. They will bring their A game or their B game. We don't need a competition because God always wins. Thanks, Thomas Campbell, physicist. He's a scientist. He's got the numbers. Science proves it. We don't need to prove God. A spiritual one will always laugh at the scientists who don't believe in us. What do you think? We're afraid? They can't kill your soul. They can't kill us. And so I smile because really, I find it hard to believe that first Jesus life. I find it hard to believe that there's so many morons out there that actually think that some of us don't know what the fuck we're talking about because we make up studies in our brains. I didn't think I'd meet so many small-minded grown-ups, I swear. It's YouTube. So, again, integrity. Thank you, Sadhguru. It is not a set of values or ethics. It is the coherence between how you are, how you think, and how you act. My facade friend lacks integrity, and so does every other adolescent who's an adaptive child part version of themselves, who's doing unto others that which was done unto them, and furthermore, who's wanting to use the word smart. They have no stability because they don't know how to manage their 14-month-old. They have no maturity because they don't even know how to get out of their anger, their fear, their sadness. They don't have disgust, surprise, or happiness due to the fact they can't self-regulate. Adaptability, where? They get rigid anytime you bring 2, 3, 4 books together. Rationale, sure you do, with the mouth that you use to wield words. Teachability, you have none. You isolate yourself from all the ones you don't like, and then, oh, look, you learn things. And so this is where I really find it very, very fascinating as we're going to build our community. Let's just remember, your own mind may stab you from within 1,000 times a day. Not ours, because we own the mind. It's a playground. It's called a left. You put your left foot in and the right foot in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey, and we own the sense of self, so you own your first 3. It can be misery, making machine, or miracle. That's your choice. Yes, thank you, Sadhguru. So the miracle of your mind, it isn't a choice that everybody had. But if you get integrated and you own the sense of self, the MDR, child parts work somatics, and then you own the body, and your body becomes your playground, perception based on comparison is never absolute. It is a distortion of reality. Thank you, Sadhguru. Our perception is based on that lovely body of ours. And so we all know, if you're new here, you might not, but Stephen Porges talks about how what you perceive, what you hear, what those senses, they begin from the very get-go. So we're here to support anyone who wants to bring in their A game. To do so, we get to bring it in because our mind is safe, so it doesn't spiral down a coyote's trickster, the trail of self-doubt and rumination. No, ours is like a lovely little Fibonacci spiral. And so with a coyote's self-empowering trail that leads to the expansion of you, intelligence, wisdom, and enlightenment, I'm bringing to you a little bit of, it's stream of consciousness, food for thought, channeled guidance. The sweat lodge, your body's safe, and with you doing good emotional mental resilience work, you anchor in ventral energy, and you have a window of tolerance that's expanding, and that is a window of welcome. That is why we're expanding our 8th and 9th chakra, and we're masters of Resh, the ones of you who regularly come in. We go with the flow, deal with the knowns, uncertainties, and wanteds from within, being yourself. We support our brothers and sisters, the ones who want to choose love, the ones who don't, it's okay. They'll live out their karma with each other. We'll still hang out together. But we use our prefrontal cortex and we engage our body's ventral vagal state. And that's thanks to self-regulation skills and using eustress, not distress, when we think and feel. And so the playground of your mind, it wheels the corners of your sweat lodge in an endless dance and harmony of flow to the rhythm and rhyme of your inner and outer world experiences. As you live life intentionally, and so with an open heart and mind, you get to appreciate a well-being mindset, and wellness lifestyle choices naturally flow to you because your daily habits and your wise function of child adult routines and behaviors, they become your go-to. So while you and I can enjoy the restored embodiment, self-aware, accountable, and regulating life, it is because we grow emotional mental resilience, the good kind. So we don't seek outside ourselves for approvals. That's why there's a difference between a securely attached, non-traumatized person and one who instead needs to become first their functional child adult. So with that, you master and that's your 14-month-old. Anything that comes up, I'm still working with my first 3 years of life, and you continue to self-regulate, and then the fun just keeps going. I mean, curiosity does not kill the cat, you better bet. Oh, newly formed ideas, they're made and they're practical applications because you're using a conscience approach like I do. I mean, there's so many subject matters I'm still looking into. Quantum physics. I would love to read the Thomas Campbell book. So the sensations and emotions, they get to deepen, they get to continue expanding. Even those panic attacks, whenever they're coming around, still, it's not in the same way, thank goodness, but I'm still sometimes uncomfortable, but we're okay with being uncomfortable because we have, again, that window welcome. And so when you're doing everything great, I need to come back with one of our 5D Mystics Skeptic Nutritionist Diary lives. It's going well. It's really going well. So I have some updates I want to share with you. And please remember, so Safe Mind, Dr. Daniel Siegel, I love all his acronyms, but this one is where he shares with us how when we're sifting safely in our mind, sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts, that's why we have the mindsight lens and skills. So you're integrated, and now that you're integrated, your default mode network, the habitual brain, is downregulated, and you're able to use these two together. And so we don't fight amongst ourselves or amongst information. And as Peter Levine talks about our body, when it safely contains CBAM, sensations, images, affects, behaviors, and meanings, now you can get those behaviors and meanings and you continue to expand them, for example, and you've gained control over the internal experiences. So we can regulate our nervous system, and that's why we increase resilience and our personal empowerment. Again, the small-minded grown-ups, they won't join us, but it's okay. We don't have to explain to them what our human makeup is. We'll just show them what we're made of. And as we go with the flow and rise like an eagle, as we go with the flow and fly and continue to unconsciously love each other with flaws and imperfections. So emotionally mature and immature people can hang out together, but we get to be the emotionally mature adults who show kids what it's like to live a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. So true spirituality. But those of us of spirit and mysticism and God and all of that Akash source, we're not going to make our children be ignorant of science because they're not competing. And you don't divide children of spiritual based on books, like you don't divide children of science based on books. So wise adults will share knowledge, discernment, and then they will make sure that their children know also about the stupid gender stereotypes and all the generalizations and how we don't need to use them as cliche sentences like movies so much does and shitty stuff. Let's allow ourselves to remember, because whenever I'm thinking of those ignorant adolescents, they didn't know sex ed, they didn't know DARE, I did, and now I'm a grown woman of 45 and I know a lot more, and believe me, when I see people my age and older, I'm like, okay, it has nothing to do. In college I met them, they were ignorant, and so ignorance and not having any kind of capacity to notice what it is, it's a fortunate business. Perception. Yeah, so long story short, fake people like my facade friend, they don't really know what life is made of because they have yet to become their true self. But they do know about gender stereotypes and generalizations and all that good stuff. And so while they will seek outside themselves for help, they will also pick a crowd. And that is why the adopted child part, they're protective, perfectionist, unforgiving, harsh. They don't use two sides, and they like to interrupt people like me and say, you're confusing science, spirituality, or dum-dum, or whatever it is, and it doesn't matter. We have fun. So join us here at IHP, being yourself the smart way, stable, mature, adaptive, rational, teachable. We love emotional resilience work because we love mental intelligence and intelligence overall. We know knowledge, and then we know belief systems, and with the spirit stuff, we don't have to prove it. It's all doing great. I know you're hearing about the split again. Please, the 4D Collective, every year they have the same stuff to be sharing with you, but we will continue to bring it all in, just not in this episode. We will. I have some themes that I know it's November, almost December. So meantime, yes, we're having light body expansions. It's going great for our 5D Collective. Continue unconsciously loving each other and knowing how amazing it is to finally have all of our brothers and sisters, if they want, they can get that kingdom of God within them and that seed of enlightenment. So being yourself and with all of the self of you, welcome aboard. And for those who do spiritual growth as well, it's really fun. Once you get past the rainbow body expansion, you continue expanding, because really there's no end. There's no end to how much galactic beings, future beings, ascended masters, Buddha, Jesus, archangels, you name it. Some really fun stories. You can tune into our past IHP show episodes and just 5D Mystic stories. Thanks for stopping by.